I'm sorry, Cole, but with your gift, I fear that you might see the path I now must walk in solitude forever. This fate is mine alone. Indeed, I would not wish it on an enemy, much less someone that I once cared for. Though you reach out in compassion, I must now insist that you forget. I'm... What were we talking about? I'm ready to help people when you are.
It's just what I heard.
Come to distract me, have you?
So Lady Pentagast will take the Sunburst throne. Cassandra will guide the Chantry back to what she considers its roots, curbing its worst excesses. She will be an unusually forthright divine, however.
I can't wait to see how Cassandra takes to leadership.
I've no doubt she will lead, Inquisitor. I wish her well. She has no easy task ahead. A fine day, isn't it? At your service.
Is it me, or is Cassandra more solemn than usual?
Lady Pentagast only contemplates what awaits the next divine.
You know Cassandra hates being called Lady Pentagast.
I look forward to seeing Divine Victoria's reaction to the ceremony around her inauguration.
All right.
Good to see you again, Inquisitor. Allow me to introduce Professor Bram Kenrick. He's the reason we're out here.
pleasure to meet you, Your Worship.
Professor Kenrick teaches at the University of Orlais.
I came on an exchange program from Starkhaven. While in Val Royeaux, I've found something incredible. After 800 years, we may be able to determine the final resting place of the last Inquisitor.
The texts say that Inquisitor Ameridan was a dragon hunter who vanished on his last expedition.
Yes, precisely. I see you've read Lautrec's Precursors to the Chantry. Inquisitor Ameridan stepped down shortly before the Nevarran Accord brought the Seekers of Truth into the Chantry. He hunted demons, dragons, and dangerous apostates in a time before Templars even existed.
I'm all for history if it means tracking down the equipment of a famous demon hunter.
If the last Inquisitor has been missing for 800 years, it's only fitting that today's Inquisition help find him.
Your scouts have gathered artifacts from the area. They may help us discover what Inquisitor Ameridan was doing.
I have news as well. We've encountered hostile Avar to the north. They call themselves the Jaws of Hakkon. There's also an Avar hold to the east. Unlike the Jaws of Hakkon, they've been friendly so far.
The Jaws of Hakkon?
They're hostile Avar who attack any Inquisition agents or researchers who get close. We've sent soldiers for defense, but the Hakkonites are cunning, merciless, and know the basin better than we do. I'm afraid our men will not be able to hold out long.
I should go.
Be careful out there.
A new book. May I borrow it when you're done?
Of course. But if you mark the pages by bending the corners...
Oh, I won't.
Lady Scout Harding has an impressive team. Her people brought back a number of artifacts.
If you need something tracked, Scout Harding is your woman.
If only it were that easy. After 800 years, we can't just look for tracks. Barring enchantment, cloth and leather will have long since rotted away. Only metal and stone remain recognizable. Complicating this are recent pieces the Avar left behind, and of course ancient pieces dating back to Tevinter. Fortunately, thanks to some period-specific buckling, I've been able to track our last Inquisitor.
You said there were pieces dating back to Tevinter.
Yes, while it's rare to see Tevinter ruins so far south, the Imperium once had an outpost of some sort here. They might have built it as a ritual site. I'm not sure what military value it could have. In any event, it's muddled up the research slightly, but I've accounted for it.
You lost me at buckling.
You'd think that a buckle was a buckle. But ever since people started belting on weapons, they've been adding bits. One piece here has a dragon engraving. With the alloys of the metals used, it's clearly Tevinter. While this one uses a clasp that wasn't invented until the dawn of the Orlesian Empire. And when it comes to historical research, you might say we have to buckle down.
What do you have, Professor?
Everything so far points to the shore not far to the south. There was some sort of battle near the shoreline. They were in a hurry. The scouts reported an island near an Avar fishing camp. But the Avar won't say much about it.
What makes you think the last Inquisitor was fighting?
There's a clasp here common to armor links. It's clearly torn. That only happens from a heavy shearing blow, like large claws or an axe. Then there's the dagger. Silverite, with a stylized dragon pommel and an inscription reading Cordilis. That dagger had to be a gift from Cordilis Dracon, first Emperor of Orlais. No one would just lose such a thing.
What can you tell me about the Avar fishing camp?
Not much. It's the friendly Avar, not these Jaws of Hakkon barbarians. According to the scouts, they wouldn't say much about the area. Likely a local superstition.
I'll find a way to that island and see if there's anything useful there.
Excellent. I'll continue to study what's been found. With luck, we'll both find some answers. Also, one of my research assistants, Colette, was investigating an old structure to the north. I'm not certain it's related to our investigation, but it couldn't hurt to check with her. May I help you, Inquisitor?
I take it you're not from Orlais originally?
No. Starkhaven. Fourth son of Lord and Lady Kenrick, destined for chantry service. Fortunately, I convinced them the university might be a fashionable alternative.
How were you assigned to the Inquisition?
I studied primarily the early chantry, particularly around the signing of the Nevarin Accord. That was why I transferred to the University of Orlais, closer to the source than Starkhaven. Sadly, most scholars took Inquisitor Emeridon's history as settled, even with so many questions remaining. No one took my ideas seriously until your Inquisition formed. I wrote Ambassador Montpellier, and, well, here we are.
I'd like to discuss Inquisitor Emeridon.
Of course, your predecessor. Existing historical records are contentious. Some say he was a devout Andrastian. Others suggest he cared little for religion, gaining leadership of the Seekers through Emperor Draken's friendship. He disappeared around the time the Seekers of Truth, the original Inquisition, incorporated into the newfound chantry. It's not clear why. Some say that he was tired of his responsibilities and wanted one last great dragon hunt.
What's it like at the University of Orlais?
Oh, it's brilliant. Some of the greatest minds I've ever known. The university was always well regarded, but Empress Celine made it the envy of all Thedas. She even got them to start admitting elves. Few bent noses, but it's worth it. Knowledge knows no bounds and all. With that unpleasantness with Grand Duke Gaspard done, the university is safe as a haven for knowledge.
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
I'd still like to find out what's on that island to the southeast. We know the Inquisitor was in the area. Lady Harding mentioned Avar in the area who aren't hostile, but they wouldn't speak of the island. I mean, Scout Harding.
I'll speak with you later.
For hating the outdoors, you really do seem to like bad weather.
What's that now?
The other day, you were outside in the rain, staring up with a grin on your face.
I smile at clouds.
Of course you do.
What? I should hunch and swear at the rain pissing off my nose? Let the weather win? I smile the freak out of clouds. Maybe they get tired of trying.
Are we still talking about clouds?
What?
Never mind. Drinks and insults later?
We're both buying. Then there's double.
Still stewing on it, eh, Dorian?
Avalash said the elves destroyed themselves. I'm still wrapping my head around that.
Why not tell everyone? Thought you wanted to take your fellow Finns down a peg or two.
For one, I've no proof. Secondly, if I did, they'd lose their collective minds. They might decide they have something to prove. Can you imagine?
Good point.
The veil is wobbly here.
Perhaps a bit wobbly instead.
What? Let me check. Sensing... Sensey... Definitely wobbly.
Inquisition soldiers, are you lending a hand?
Lieutenant Farrow, sir. We've beaten back those Hakkonite bastards. My men and I will hold here. The Hakkonites along the river still pose a threat. After this last battle, we need time to fortify and regroup.
What's the situation along the river?
Between the Hakkonites and the wildlife, this isn't the easiest place to maintain a presence. The river's the best way for the Inquisition to send supplies from Skyhold. Or it would be if we could travel safely along it. The Hakkonites set up camps near the banks, and they attack anyone who gets within view.
That will be all, Lieutenant.
Sir?
They're determined. I'll give them that.
Even in the middle of nowhere, we find fanatics. Lucky us.
Should be fewer Hakkonite assholes around here now.
Avar and the village Harding mentioned can shed some light.